everybody. It's Molly from the Chagrin Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'm so excited because we're taking another virtual field trip, and we are at the Ohman Family Living. Which building? You have multiple beautiful buildings. What building are we? We've got Kurt here. What building are we in, Kurt?
Today we are at Ohman Family Living at Holly, which is in Newberry on Fairmount, in between Sperry and Auburn.
And what?
Yeah, my name is Kurt, and this is Amanda, and Amanda is our Assistant Director of Nursing.
And what's the whole brand? How many different? I guess what I'm asking is, you could pretty much take care of any elderly care need that one of your loved ones may have, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have everything from home care, so prior to even coming to one of our campuses, to independent living, assisted living. Today we're standing in our brand new memory care today, which is on the cusp of opening, and we're just finishing up kind of final touch-ups. And we do long-term care and short-term rehab post-hospital. Did I miss anything, Amanda?
I don't think so.
I mean, the hope is to have a loved one go into your facility or start being treated at home, and kind of make that gradual move through the elderly life under one roof, or at least under one care. I know with dementia and folks with memory issues, it's so difficult to be introducing different places and people into their lives. So your umbrella is really kind of wonderful, because your loved one can be seen by the same people throughout their whole care, so to speak. You know, once the dementia or the memory kicks in, they can then be transported to the next phase over at Ohman Family. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. We have, a wide range of services in senior care. And that is one of the advantages, is that you can come into our organization in any level of care and pretty seamlessly transition into other levels of care as circumstances of life change. So something that makes it a little bit unique, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I would say we like to say age in place. So once somebody comes onto our campus, we're able to keep them here with, a facility that they're familiar with staff that they're familiar with as much as possible. And having these different areas allows us to do that.
And so
leadership involved throughout. You're seeing the same management, and the same would be true for our other campuses as well. So we have Ohman Family Living at Briar, which is in Middlefield, and at Blossom, which is in Huntsville.
That's so comforting for the family members to know as well, So there's this little thing that's called a pandemic that's going on in our world. Have you heard something about that? Little something? How have you guys been able to kind of transition through this while keeping that contact that the elderly folks so desperately need with their families?
Well, we have the perfect person to address that here, because Amanda is also our in-house infection preventionist. So this is the best person to answer that question.
Perfect.
So obviously there have been a lot of changes in-house because of the pandemic. All of the staff are wearing masks, and the residents wear masks when they're out of their rooms. But we try to continue with as much activities as we're allowed to as practicable, because families can't come into the building. So we've coordinated. We're doing window visits with residents, between residents and their families. The assisted living is now doing their outdoor visits, 6 feet apart with masks and screening forms and all of that. But at least there's that little bit of interaction. Our activities department has been wonderful, keeping everybody engaged. And it's kind of a all hands on deck. Every staff member, whether they're nursing or administration, dietary, housekeeping, everybody's been really involved in keeping people engaged.
We're doing virtual calls via FaceTime or Zoom, as well as other ways for families and their loved ones to connect. Doing everything we can to remain keeping people engaged and involved to the extent that they can. And our activities department actually is back up and running in a safe manner with wellness programs. So just finding ways for people to connect that are maybe different than they used to be, but still fit within the circumstances of today's environment.
And I know that what I've been seeing is businesses have implemented these additional virtual things. They've gotten very creative. Do you see any of these things that you have put into place during this time? Do you see any of them going further after, maybe an out-of-towner is able to virtually visit, things that will stay in place after the pandemic is over?
Definitely. Even some physicians consults, instead of sending somebody out to the community, out to the hospital for a consult with a physician, if the office is capable of doing a virtual medical visit with that patient in their office, then we try to do those things too. It limits the direct contact, it limits everybody's exposure, regardless of where we're at with the pandemic. I could see that continuing, definitely.
Right, plus that transition too.
And it's hard sometimes for some of these folks to get out and go to a doctor's visit.
Yes,
So
yes, exactly.
now that we've seen how this can be done when we had no other choice, I think more and more physicians are going to be open to the possibility of doing virtual visits when it's appropriate.
Absolutely. Well, I say, and I can tell that you guys are newly renovated because I think I see some painter's tape behind you.
Yeah. So, we're actually in our brand new memory care. We're getting ready to open it up to new residents in the next couple of weeks. And so there are painter's tape. There's a few people walking around here, so you may see people actually in the background doing some final touch-ups. But we'd be happy to even show you through and show you some of that new space as well.
Let's do it. Let's take a field trip.
So right here we have the nurses station. This is the memory care unit still. So the concept is that we can do almost every aspect of their care from this side of the building. It functions at an assisted living level. So while there are cognitive impairments, there are still physical requirements qualified to be in the memory care unit. But like I said, there would be a nurse over here 24/7 just because of any cognitive behavioral issues that might be going on. There will always be a nurse in this wing. We complete all of laundry, dining services, nursing care activities, everything happens in here. So the idea is they don't have to leave. There's no change in scenery that could become confusing or distressing to certain people. So I will
Excellent.
show you it all.
And there's a lot of purpose so some things that we might not even have time to highlight as we walk through today. There's a lot of purpose to the design of all of this, including like how the spaces are broken up to encourage people to keep moving and keep walking and things like that. And so we'll try to highlight some of those things, but there's a lot of purpose behind every single piece that was implemented here, including even like color. So like doors and walls in bedrooms are colored the same so that those colors become familiar to people over time because it affects memory.
And I know it's just the hallway in general is just so large and wide for, no one's tripping over each other.
Yes, exactly. So over here in the front section of the memory care, we have different stations, activity stations, I guess.
It's kind of like a home within a home. So there are different like little vignettes of like areas of a home, and so each one of them is kind of broken up to cater to different things that are appealing to people who are in different stages or who have different characteristics of dementia.
So if we had a patient who liked to tinker or work with tools and things like that, there's going to be a workbench station right here. And
Very
then,
cool.
let's say we have a female patient that likes baby dolls and taking care of children. We have a little nursery set up for them as well. And if you come around the corner, there's going to be a chapel right here with stained glass window.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah. And then right here we have a laundry room, so to speak. I think it actually works.
It is actually fully functioning. Yes, it's a fully functioning laundry area, and the staff will use that to process the laundry, but we also find that even in our existing facility, a lot of people who have dementia like to find purpose in something. And so folding towels and folding washcloths and things like that is something that they love to do, and they might fold them over and over. But it's something that makes them feel value and feel a sense of self-worth. And so this counter is actually set up on the other side. A wheelchair could pull right up to it so that they could do those sorts of things. And that ties in with the same thing with the nursery as well. a lot of people like to take care of a baby doll because it just gives them a sense of purpose. So all those things are kind of tied into the philosophy behind the design.
That was a big deal for my dad. He loved the laundry.
Yeah.
Doing the laundry.
And along the same topic, some people love washing dishes. I am not one of them. But some people
Send them over to my house.
Right? There's a kitchen set up, same concept, where they can, you know, complete tasks and feel a sense of purpose. We come through here, there's a dining room area and a living room area, and there's actually, this is neat, there's a screen door right here, so it would be like going outside.
Oh, yeah.
But it's inside.
But it's inside. So the outer wall of the kitchen looks like the outside of a home.
Oh, look at that. I mean, it is about the details, you know?
Yeah.
And then we have kind of this outdoor pergola area. So we all know that Northeast Ohio doesn't always have the best weather. And so we have a patio on the outside here where they can go and do activities outside. But if the weather doesn't cooperate, we can do some of those same activities inside, but in a way that feels more like you're getting some, you know, the additional light and everything else of the airiness of kind of feeling outside. So that's kind of our home within a home here in the memory
Very
care.
cool.
So there's another area too where it's kind of set up, and we won't walk through maybe the whole thing, but in an area where it's set up to kind of be like an exterior walking path, and we can head that way now, with the idea that it kind of gives somebody a sense of like the freedom to wander, sit in some outdoor type of furniture and those types of things. Just kind of giving people options depending on what, you know, works for them.
And Kurt, is it a locked facility, at least for the memory care area?
Yes, the memory care is locked. So to get in and out of any of the doors, you would need to have a name badge or the key code to get through them. Yeah.
And so it's a double lock door for safety on both sides. And so, yeah, there's a lot of measures in place to try to keep people safe. That's kind of our primary goal. Over here we have our dining area. So this is like our formal dining, like directly in front of me. And then in the distance, there's a lower, more casual dining area. And it's actually designed so that someone with a wheelchair could pull up, or someone could walk up and sit down and even participate in food making type of activities. So something that people love and something that's familiar to people a lot of times is the food making process. And so giving people chances to engage in any kind of different type of activity of life that they might find meaningful.
And studies have shown that the sense of smell can trigger memories as well. So having that smell of cookies or bread or something like that in an area like this might help calm some people, might help trigger some memories for them and be enjoyable.
Will you let me know when the cookies are baking?
Yeah.
I'll head over.
So this is kind of our outdoor pastoral feel walking path. And we have like a wallpaper that's actually set up as a mural throughout the entire area. Sort of a unique and very interesting feature. And we're working on bringing out all the new furniture that'll be like an outdoor style for like different sitting areas, benches, things like that, where people can sit down and kind of enjoy some relaxing time in sort of an outdoor feel inside.
And then this is an example setup of what a memory care room could look like.
It's so beautiful.
So each room has the same size space. Each wall, like Kurt had said, is unique. It matches the door. So maybe there'll be some recall for the residents as the blue door, the blue room. Every room is equipped with a walk-in shower and full bathroom for them specifically.
So there's a lot of thoughtfulness that went into even the design and placement of fixtures in the memory care restrooms, for example, so that it's sort of helpful to those who might not remember where their room is or where their restroom is, that they can see those things because they're visually placed in such a way that they can see them. And they don't have to remember it necessarily. They just see it and then they can go use it. So there's a number of those things that are built in and that we're kind of excited about people getting a chance to use.
Are you accepting, are you have space available for folks?
Yeah, so we have a number of pre-reserved spots. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be moving everybody into those ones, but we're not fully reserved yet. So yeah, if people have interest and things like that, we'd be very happy to connect with you, and they can call us, and we'd be happy to start that process.
Well, just because we're here right now, why don't you give us the phone number?
Sure. So our office number is 440-338-8220. And if you just let anybody know that they're interested in any specific level of care, or even if they're not sure, we can get them connected to the right person who might be available at that time, or schedule a time to talk with them further about it.
What's the website? Where can they
find the website? ohmanfamilyliving.com.
And the Ohman family is who owns it, yes?
Yes. So, and there's a lot of family members who are involved. So I am a family member by marriage. And so there are 6 of us who are family members who are licensed administrators who are involved in everything in the day-to-day operation. And something that I think makes us a little bit unique compared to some of the other places that you might see out there, to have the ownership really on site. We know the residents, we know the staff, very much involved all the time. And it's a very meaningful thing to us to be a part of all of that on a daily basis.
And although your memory care building is new, you guys are not new to senior living. How long have you guys been doing this?
So we've been in the space since 1965, and this was actually our first kind of like permanent facility. The very first start of it was in Middlefield in a ranch home that was converted to senior living space, and that was just for the first 2 years or so. So since 1967, we've actually been in this particular spot in various forms, and so we've added on over the years, and this most current expansion being the largest of that. But yeah, certainly not new to the county or the area or the industry.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
Yeah. So this is our new therapy gym and our new rehab wing. State-of-the-art equipment is being moved in here as we speak. Separate rooms for each type of therapist. Speech therapy room, occupational. If they're doing any kind of massage work, there are separate rooms for privacy for that. Over here we have a setup. It's gonna again look like a home, because the concept is if people are here for rehab with the goal of going back home. So they're gonna need to be able to do things for themselves once they get there. They're not gonna have dietary staff to take care of cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. So we have a full kitchen, appliances on their way.
Yeah, we're still putting the finishing touches on things here, so we're very close.
That's my perfect kitchen right there. No stove, no refrigerator. That's my perfect kitchen.
And then we have an area set up like a bedroom. So same concept, practicing getting in and out of bed. It might seem easy to you or I, but after breaking a hip or being in the hospital for a couple of weeks, you're very deconditioned. So practicing even the little things is very important.
And then we even have a bathroom that's set up to be with similar fixtures and configuration to the way many home setups are, so that when someone has had a change in condition, they can practice this safely with a therapist and learn how to cope with those things, like when they do go home, so that they can start preparing for that, rather than have kind of like an extra level of assistance that might not be realistic to what they're going to see when they're back home.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So that's the therapy gym. And then we have one room that we'd like to show you. All of our rehab rooms are similar, so you'll get the idea from one. Right here we have our nurses station, so the nurses will be very close. And then this is an example of one of our resident rooms.
So now, what area are we in now? We're not in the memory care anymore, right?
So this is in our rehab area.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this is for all your short-term, post-hospitalization types of stays. As you can see, a lot of space. Even where Amanda is standing right now is where the bed would go. Then we've got a sitting area with a love seat and things like that. TV ready for everyone before they come in. individual heating and air conditioning. So for comfort purposes, like a lot of independence in choosing, like what's most comfortable to you.
And then full bathroom with walk-in, roll-in shower in each room as well.
So they're there just basically to get their strength back, and then
Yeah, the rehab unit goal, everybody that comes over here, for the most part, their goal is to go home. So we want them to be as comfortable as possible while they're trying to get their strength back and work on every aspect of getting them safely discharged.
And our goal is always to help people get home if that's what they're capable of. But safety is the top priority. So if we can find a way to safely get somebody home, which the majority of people do, that's what we always shoot for. But in the event that someone isn't able to safely go back home, we have a lot of other options, as we talked about, an entire continuum of care to try to help someone live the most home-like, the most independent life that they possibly can, given whatever circumstances they may be facing.
Is this a new building as well? This is new construction?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's all private rooms, 24 suites, so everybody's got their own individual private space. Lots of room for whenever this pandemic changes or visitation rules change, plenty of room for family members to come in and spend time together with their loved ones. And, we're just really excited to see how that space will be such a life changer for the folks who need service. So.
I'm sure you're just ready to open the doors and going, I'm sure.
We are.
Because this was a process prior to the pandemic. You guys have been obviously working on this for a long time, but had you hoped to open prior, or, like when was your original opening?
So our memory care was originally set to open back in January. And so we've gotten pushed, quite a bit down the road, primarily affected due to the pandemic. We've had to just totally change policies and, change the way we operate, and just as many people have. And so it has delayed us quite a bit, but we're excited that we're like right on the cusp. But we're hoping to move people into this rehab space actually on Monday. So it's coming soon, and then the memory care would be shortly to follow. So we're very excited about finally hitting that milestone.
Oh boy, well, I just can't even imagine what you guys are going through, just with basically having to just redo everything. And not that you guys didn't take care of your staff and your clients, but with everything that's going on, this has just been an added addition of pivoting and relearning some things. It's just crazy that it's just crazy. Crazy.
2020 has been a challenging year, but the other thing that's cool though is like so many people in the community have come together and pitched in to try to help out. So like Maui, I even think of you and how you helped coordinate the distribution of some hand sanitizers and stuff, and how the Emergency Management Association here in Geauga County has helped out all kinds of facilities and organizations like ours. So while it's been challenging, it's also been very exciting to see how the community has come together during a time of need. So
that is so true.
It's been encouraging in some ways too.
Yeah, so many silver linings that we just got to keep your eyes open for, because they're out there, and it's time for us to pause that we've never and probably will never have. Just a minute to relook at everything, You guys are doing amazing things over there. Kurt, remind me, everyone again, what the website is so they can go and learn more about you.
Sure. So it's Ohman Family Living, OHMAN, familyliving.com.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate you guys hanging with us this morning.
Well, we appreciate you too. Thank you for the time and for talking with us and giving us an opportunity to do what we don't have a lot of opportunities to do right now, which is show people our new building. So.
Yes. Well, we can't wait until we can go there and see it for real. But until then, we'll just enjoy our virtual tour through it. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.